I've thought I'd put a bit of time into some editing, give it a go. Don't know whether I'll do it with all my videos, but that's thought it was a little fancy, and the missus saw it and said, "Geez, that's looking a bit top notch. You might want to get a bit of a different background for the rest of your videos, instead of Pringles cans and bench grinders." So what better background than a HQ Monaro? Well, anyway. Today I'm going to crack at an empty lighter. Somewhere. Still getting over that cold. Couldn't beat the smoke. We're having a go at some Lane Limited 125th anniversary in my estate pipe. I've got to build up the collection. It's a Royal Danish, made in Denmark. All sort of rusticated. Once again, I've had this from the start. 8 or 9 years. Oh, hang on. See, I'm learning. We could have been packed a bit tighter. First of all, I would like to thank the YouTube pipe community for giving me a bit of a warm welcome. I've had some positive comments on my video, on my videos. We got Liam Pinero, got Pipe Nutter, Alex George, Aussie Piper 1960 Kevin, Mutton Chop Piper, and Bruce Godwin, Bryce Godwin, Drew of the Shed, and Beer, Bikes and Pipes, and Christian Jeffers. So it's young man smoke. So thank you very much. As I'm sure everybody realises, quite nerve-wracking getting in front of this camera. But quite satisfying as well. At the moment, actually, one thing I wanted to talk about was, or one thing I realised I hadn't done was give you my name. I tried so hard to lock everything down so you couldn't. I don't know. I can be a bit of a security freak or a bit of a privacy freak. So although I've left this channel wide open, I don't think it links back to anything massively private. But my name is Damien. or as my mother in the middle of my wedding ceremony said to the lady that was wedding us, she stood up because she was saying it a little wrong. She kind of gets out of her chair and leans forward and says, "His name is Damien." So that was thanks, Mum. But in in Melbourne at the moment, we're on this one's a bit of a Saturday night. We've got the Gabs Festival, which is the Great Australian Beer Spectacular. It celebrates all things craft beer related, and is absolutely fantastic. I was working in the pub years ago as they started this. It was a couple of guys that actually started the spectaculars and it was when craft beer really started to take off in Australia, really, which was probably 6-7 years ago, and it's absolutely fantastic. All around the city, they have you have beer bars and breweries and just anybody that really sort of sells craft beer. Put on special functions, whether it be presentations by brewers or beer tasting and beer and food tasting and matching with beer and food matching. I'm sitting here with one of my home brews, a Ruby Brown Ale. So maybe you can see a bit of a red tinge in there. It's literally the last glass that I've got of this one. But I did make sure I supported the some Australian brewers, micro brewers or craft brewers. I have drank them, not all today, but I've got a Two Brothers taxi. That one quite nice. A Wolf of the Willows XPA. Wasn't bad. I did find it was a little bit too carbonated, but every mouthful just exploded in bubbles. So that's the first time I've had that one. We had a Holgate brew house at the west of Melbourne, ESB. They're absolutely two of my favourite breweries, actually. Two Brothers and Holgate, and a Two Brothers growler. It's a American brown ale, and I have for a little bit later a Two Brothers Grizz American Amber. So that one's still going. Again, that was my contribution to the Gabs craft beer scene in Australia or in Melbourne. Now, as I mentioned, I've tried to step it up a notch with my videos. Just got some free editing software online, so I'll be able to play with that, see what we can get out of it. But I'm quite always wanted to do a bit of video editing, so this is the perfect opportunity to have a play. It's one of those things, can't take too long, otherwise it takes too long. But something else I wanted to maybe talk about Nothing in particular this video, but I have actually, back on the beer, I've just put actually about a week ago, put three beers in the fermenters. So I'll hopefully go through, take a bit of a video. Everything will be a bit backwards, but I'll do a bit of a video on kegging, and maybe a bit of video on the fridge while all the kegs are out, and how it's put together and stuff, with the taps and the CO2 cylinder and that type of thing. But we'll and then next time I put another beer on for fermenting, I'll get do a video on that. I'm not an expert at a lot of these things, but I've learned a hell of a lot over the years giving it a go. So if I can, a lot of people won't try something because they're, like they won't brew a beer because it's too hard, or they're it's too they're afraid of stuffing it up, or that type of thing. I'll just take you through what I do, and the areas where you need to be very particular, and where you don't, and you'll work it out yourself. But if I can help somebody, fantastic. If not, doesn't matter. I've had a crack at making YouTube videos. Now, the name I chose, Aficionado. Aficionado.HQ actually is a little bit of a play. When I was trying to set everything up, Aficionado seemed to be taken quite a bit. Maybe I was doing something wrong. Maybe I was trying to find an email address instead of something else. But the HQ was a little bit of a play on headquarters, Aficionado, of pipes, of beers, of Holdens, of anything I'm interested in. I try to get quite deep in, a bit knowledgeable on certain on my hobbies, and also HQ as in HQ Monaras Holdens. So it's a little bit of a double play. And it was funny actually. When I went into the house and told my wife, I said, "Oh, I've started a YouTube video," and she goes, a YouTube channel, and she goes to pull it up on the TV, and she goes, "Okay, what's it called?" Aficionado. And I went, "How did you know?" And she said, "Well, of course it's got to be. That's I've also been using that name in forums and everything for the past 10 plus years." So I was quite impressed that she knows me that well, to know that it was Aficionado or Aficionado something. So this is the first time smoking the Lane Limited 125th anniversary. Quite nice. I have to say, I'm still working out whether I'm a aromatics, Virginia, or a sort of an English blend type of guy. As I explained in one of my other videos, I've never really had access to decent tobaccos except Walk and Riff, and of course every one of those I've bought have tongue bit me to the bejesus. So maybe I didn't look hard enough, but that was the last eight or so years of pipes and legging. Well, guys, I'll leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this one. Again, thanks for the YTPC for being quite accepting of a newbie, and I look forward to watching more of your videos and messaging and whatever else comes of it. But I'll leave you with my outro, which I hope doesn't look too bad either. So thanks, guys.